Get ready to match the stars from Charlie's Angels, David Doyle, Brett Summers, Charles Nelson Reilly, from Angie Debralee Scott, Dick Martin, and Patty Duke Astin, as we play the star-studded Big Money Match Game PM. And now, here's the star of Match Game PM, Gene Rivers.
Hello, John. Thank you, friends. How kind of you to join us. As you can plainly see, ladies and gentlemen, the stars are out tonight. And they're... Where? Out! Out with that person! Look at these beautiful people here. Good evening, stars.
Good evening. Good evening.
Or good afternoon, or whatever time it is, wherever you are. Holy mackerel.
Aren't I glittering? I'm a star. I'm glittering.
You're glittering, right. Here are Marcella Stein and Johnny Hughes. Welcome to both of you. I'd like to find out a little bit about each of you before we start. Johnny, let's begin with you.
Well, I'm from Henderson, North Carolina, and I taught school for 8.5 years, and I've just spent 18 months backpacking and camping throughout Europe and the United States.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Now, that must have been a fascinating experience.
Oh, it has been.
Yeah.
It's not over.
It's not over. You're still doing it?
Uh-huh.
And where are you going from here?
Probably to Colorado for a while.
You mean you walk?
No. I've got a VW right now.
I see. And you,
I had a VW camper one time, and I traveled by train one time. So.
And you did it in Europe?
Mm-hmm.
This fella did it in Europe. Yes. Okay, Johnny, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Marcella, how about you?
Well, I'm an ex-trucker.
What? Now, wait a minute. You drove a truck?
Trucker. Yes, I did. I used to work for a beverage company.
Yeah?
And I hauled around cases of soda weighing up to 65 pounds.
You lifted those yourself?
Yes, I did.
May I feel your muscle? Holy mackerel. This lady is powerful. Don't fool around with this lady.
I cleaned up my act, though. I got into hot tubs.
Hot tubs? Okay. We're a little late, folks. Good night.
I sell them on the weekends, and I waitress during the week. And part-time, I sell chemicals, and I freelance babysit. And in my spare time, I look for a new job.
Oh, what an enterprising lady this is. Good luck to both of you. Here on Match Game PM, you'll each have 3 opportunities to match as many of our stars as you possibly can. The one who's done that most often at the end of the 3rd round will be the winner. Go on to play the Big Money Super Match, which can pay off over $20,000. Here we go. A or B? Johnny Hughes wants A. Lady Guinevere said,
"Oh, I love these."
I think King Arthur is going wacko. Last night, he brought his blank to bed. Lady Guinevere said, I think King Arthur is going wacko. Last night, he brought his blank to bed. Here we go, Johnny. Lady Guinevere said, I think King Arthur is going wacko. Last night he brought his blank to bed.
Sword.
His
sword?
Sword. I've been in the South recently. It always interests me the way Southerners can make a 2-syllable word out of one sword. It becomes a 2-syllable word. Hello, David.
I was thinking of sword, but I thought maybe a lance.
A lance?
Yes.
A lance.
You know, a lance is close to a sword, but not quite close enough, Johnny. Yeah, wait a minute. Now, a sword is about so long. But a lance would go from here over to Patty, beyond Patty. And it has that shield on it, you know, and you use it when you're on the horse. That's a different thing.
King-size bed, King Arthur.
That's right. Yes.
Oh, boy.
Oh, girl.
Hey, that Johnny has a mellifluous, sweet voice that would melt all the ice in the Antarctic. Right. He's adorable, isn't he? I wish I had said that. No, I said he got so wacky he brought his best friend to bed.
His best friend? Yes. You look very elegant.
Very few men can wear ruffles and get away with it.
That's true.
And you're not one of them.
I said round table and 12 dinette.
Wonderful answer, Charles. Did you hear the rest of it? Round table and 12 dinette chairs was the whole answer. You didn't hear it, did you? Okay. I think King Arthur's going wacko. Last night he brought his blank to bed.
I said his knight's armor.
Oh, really? What? I want to hear more about this, but later, not on public television.
No. Yes. He brought something that would make it very inconvenient, his suit of armor.
Oh, yeah.
That would be a bit dodgy.
Oh, that would be terrible. Poor
painful.
lady. What do you say to this, Patty?
Dick and I think alike. His armored suit.
His armored suit. How come no one said
it's a suit of armor,
the
it's
court
not an
jester? That'd be
His
a lot
best
of
friend
laughs.
was the court
Oh, I
jester.
see. Okay. Well, Johnny, that's the way it goes. Win some, lose some. Ready, Marcella?
Ready.
On the airplane, there were two movies. The first-class passengers got to see American in Paris. In coach, they had to watch American in blank. No? Charles, here we go. On the airplane, there were two movies. The first-class passengers got to see American in Paris. In coach, they had to watch American in...
Taiwan.
I agree with you. Was there a reason why you said that?
They always say your first impulse. That's what it was.
First thing, all right, that's okay, Marcella.
American where?
Yeah,
In
she said
Taiwan.
American in Taiwan. I would say, you know, the antithesis of an American in Paris, you think of Paris as an elegant, wonderful city.
Sure, baby.
Which it's not really. But you think of it as being, you know, a sophisticated
And
one.
one trip on the Queen Elizabeth II, and you just think you're the cat's meow. One trip, and it wasn't even a round trip. Once over, and they left you.
I am the cat's meow. Okay, David.
Swing that in ragtime,
Now,
honey.
I don't mean this as a very... I mean, I've been where I'm staying, and it's not as bad as probably, but Crete, Nebraska.
Crete, Nebraska.
I hope those people in Crete don't get sorry. What?
Now, you are from Nebraska.
Yes, there's Yorkie's Park down there.
Oh, yes, of course.
He's Mama.
Lincoln.
Oh, I'm sorry. Gee, I always forget where he's from. I always Lincoln, get Loma and Lincoln mixed
Show
up.
us your card, honey.
I'll show you a lot of other stuff, too, if you hang in there. No, I don't want letters. This is just a joke. It's just a tra-la.
Just a little simple show, that's all.
Simple game
Trying to make a
show.
living, that's all we're
I have a
doing.
niece. Her name is Janice. She's Polish. Poland.
American in Poland.
We'll get letters.
If Loretta Swit is going to get on my back, I'm really going to be steamed.
Bobby's
Right. And Bobby
I
then.
have the definitive.
You do.
American in Detroit.
What am I doing in Detroit? Okay.
Oh gosh, do I?
First class, American in Paris, coach,
You know,
American in...
I know. I hated this question
Yeah,
personally.
right.
And I
Why,
didn't.
you
I didn't
Polish?
say a town or a city. Or
What's
I
that
said,
tacky
I
place?
thought. I said. Well, I didn't think of a tacky place.
Well,
See, I
name
thought
it.
of-
Well, that was the whole idea.
Just let me say what I said because it's awful,
No, I'm
and I
not
want
gonna
to
let
get
you
it
say what
over
you
with.
said. All
I
right.
said because it's very topical now. I said American in a gas crisis. Oh, I'm gonna get-
I'm crazy about it.
Since my tank is unempty, I don't know I'm getting home tonight.
I'll get home tonight. Baby. No, listen. See, that's a wonderful answer, except in 1984, when this show is in reruns, and we are on total
We'll look
solar
back, it'll be a
energy,
history
her
lesson.
answer won't make any sense at all, will it?
Either
What do
will
you-
your suit, for that matter.
I know that, Charles. My suit won't, but your ruffles, they'll say, get him with the ruffles there. Okay, Dick, it's your turn.
An American in hijack.
Hijack, Utah.
Is that another town in Nebraska?
No, that's where he was going.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I'm
Here we go,
disappointed
Patty.
in you, Dick.
An American in the Bronx.
There you go. All right. Now we're at the end of round one, and as you can plainly see, it's a difficult game, isn't it? It's a very difficult intellectual exercise. Now this message or two for you. Okay, here we go to round 2. Johnny went first last time. Marcella, since the score is tied, will have to go to first this time.
I'd like to go with A.
A. All right. John said the American economy is really sinking. So the Treasury has changed the picture on the dollar bill to a picture of blank. Fast. He's writing, so I'll start reading. John said, the American economy is really sinking. So the Treasury has changed the picture on the dollar bill to a picture of...
The Titanic?
The Titanic. There's the answer. I didn't want to lay it out too strongly, but obviously the operative word was sinking. Go, David.
Yes, no, that's a very good answer. I'm sorry, I don't match up with her. I put Moby Dick.
All right. He eventually sank when he was speared, right? What?
Marcia Wallace once said about the Titanic, changing agents is like changing chairs on the Titanic.
Right.
It's an inside joke, but it's good, Marcia. Don't let anybody fool you. They don't know nothing. You said sinking. That was the operative word, right,
That's right,
baby?
yeah.
Listen to this. How's this for sinking? Submarine.
Very good. A submarine is sinking.
Really a very sinking answer.
Yeah.
President Carter, bad taste answer.
Don't like
All
our
right.
president, eh?
Change a picture of the dollar bill to a picture of...
The Titanic.
Very good. Debralee. You are loved.
I had to do something for that last one.
I don't understand this question because if the dollar bill is sinking, you would have done someone's picture on there that would bring it back up.
Who would that be?
Frank Sinatra.
Aha! Right. Okay. Penny Duke Astin.
I told you it wasn't wonderful and great.
Well, she had it. It was good. The submarines go
She was
down. They
lousy,
sink.
too.
All right. 1-0 in the middle of round 2. Let's see how we end up here now. Are you ready? Okay, John. The ventriloquist's wife said, I think my husband has fallen in love with his dummy. Last night he came home with blank on his collar. Ready, David? The ventriloquist's wife said, I think my husband has fallen in love with his dummy. Last night he came home with blank on his collar.
Sawdust.
Sawdust. Sawdust. Sawdust.
Sawdust. Well, this is bigger sawdust. Wood chips.
Wood chips.
Sawdust is very
Close. Good answer. See the tall, skinny guy with the blue suit?
Mug Get him!
He made the decision that sawdust and wood chips do not match. Not I. Okay, Brett.
Johnny, I'm not going to let you down. I'm going to fight to the death. He said chips.
Yeah.
What is another word for sawdust?
Wood chips.
There is no other word for sawdust.
There is. Wood shavings.
No shavings. No. No. Shavings you get when you plane a piece of wood and you get those curls that Shirley Temple wore.
I used to wear those, remember, darling?
Right, I do remember.
This is going to be another one that's close.
No cigar.
Sawdust.
Last night he came home with sawdust on his collar.
Sawdust. Sawdust.
Oh, why not?
You know?
Yeah,
That's what I had. Sawdust.
no kidding. Holy mackerel, look at that. Reaper John. And another one. Yeah. Okay.
Friends out there, I see.
Well, the
4-1 the score. Johnny, we're going to ask you to go ahead since you're first. You're first, so you go. You're ahead, so you go first.
Okay, I'll
Very
take,
good, honey.
let's see, I'll take B.
B. You sure?
Close.
Last chance. B. Okay. Egbert the elephant thinks he's a car.
elephant.
Egbert the elephant thinks he's a car. That's why he has a blank in his trunk. You're right. David and Brett are the only two who play.
I got it.
Well, let's stick it in.
Okay. Marcella. Egbert the elephant. Oh, I beg your pardon. Johnny. Egbert the elephant thinks he's a car. That's why he has a blank in his trunk.
A gas tank.
Gas tank in his trunk. Well, we'll find out if that works in a moment or so. David, what did you say? He said gas.
I think the gas tank is adjacent to the trunk, but I think inside the trunk is a spare tire.
Spare tire. Yeah. Spare tires in the trunk, right?
Not in my trunk.
Oh.
There's nothing in my trunk. I don't believe I'll ever get a flat. So therefore, I keep it empty and I keep it full. Well, we can't talk about that. I said a jack. I'm sorry, Jack.
A jack. The jack is also found in the trunk. Now, Marcella, here is the way it is. You need 3 to tie and 4 to win. Paul said, I just went to the North Pole, and the food there is terrible. Every meal, they gave us the same thing, blank pie.
Oh, cute. Adorable.
Wonderful. Okay, Marcella. Paul said, I just went to the North Pole, and the food there is terrible. Every meal, they give us the same thing, blank pie.
Penguin?
You had a chance, my dear, but I think you just blew it.
What did she say, Jim?
She said penguin pie. David?
Penguin pie? Eskimo-mo.
Okay, good.
Marcella, I can't tell you how many times I've been in your spot, but I did say Eskimo.
Eskimo pie. Okay, you got to match the 3 remaining ones to stay in the game, Marcella. Here we go, Chuck.
Eskimo.
Eskimo. So Johnny Hughes wins the game. What do you have? Eskimo. Marcella, we're going to send some gifts your way. Many thanks for being with us here on Match Game PM. Marcella Stein, ladies and gentlemen, there she goes. And while she's going off, we're going to spin a message or two just for you. Now, Johnny Hughes is going to have a go at the big money. Here's where you could make over $20,000. To do that, we have 2 audience matches for you, and here we go with the first one. We polled a studio audience not too long ago and said, write down your best answer to this. Harry blank. $500 for matching the most popular, $250 for the second, and $100 for the third. Whom do you call on?
Okay, I like Brett.
Brett.
How about Harry A?
Harry A?
Okay, Patty.
Oh, dear.
Here. Baby.
Chest. Harry Chest.
Harry Chest.
Just came to me out of the blue.
Wonderful. What a quick thinker.
And Charles.
Harry Mary.
Leave him alone, Brett.
I'm only trying to help.
A girl I used to date, Harry Mary.
Harry Mary, Harry Ape, and Harry Chest are the 3. You can choose one of those or give us one of your own.
Harry Chest.
Harry Chest is what he wants. Let's take a look at the $100 response. Harry Legs. Now, we want a Harry Chest. May we see the next one, please? You got it, Harry Chest. Means the least you'll play for is $2,500. Now, we're going to see how much more you're going to win with our...
We'd like to see the
You want to
top
see
one
the
if
next
you don't
one?
mind. It might be Ape.
Okay, slide
Sure
it.
might be.
Ape it is. All right, take a bow. Take another bow. Okay. All right. We polled another audience and said, give us your best response to this. Blanking stone. Okay?
Okay. Dick.
Rolling Stone.
All right.
Don't shout at me like that. Stepping stone.
Charles.
Harry. Harry.
Harry Mary Stone.
Yes, Charles.
Stone. Birthing stone. Dead stone.
Leave him alone, Brett. Oh, you're a mean
What I didn't give Harry Mary, wedding stone.
Wedding stone. Wedding stone, stepping stone, and rolling stone. One of those or one of your own?
Rolling Stone.
Okay. Let's take a look at the $100 response. Stepping stone.
cute.
We want rolling stone. Go with the next one. Irving stone. You remember her. Now let's take a look at the $500 number. Rolling stone. $500 multiplied by 10 is 5,000. Added to the previous $2,500 gives you a pot of $7,500 to shoot for. However, if you have a lucky spin of the star wheel, you double that and play for $15,000. Here we go.
Johnny.
Good luck to you. $15,000. Good luck to you. Here we go. Put your glasses on. Atta boy, David. This is it. Blank.
Now concentrate, sweetheart.
Stadium.
What?
Blank stadium. Okay, now he's finished. Do the dinger. Pay attention over there. Thank you. Okay, he's finished. If you give us the answer that he's written on the card, we give you $15,000. Blank stadium.
New York Stadium.
There is no such place as New York Stadium.
It wouldn't come to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Where do you live?
North Carolina.
North Carolina. You been here in Los Angeles very long?
No.
Not very long. I see. Okay. David, he said New York Stadium because he couldn't think of anything.
Is that synonymous with a stadium, another name for a stadium in New York?
No, there are two stadia in New York.
There is Shea Stadium.
Shea Stadium and Yankee Stadium. Yeah. Sorry about that, John. Well, a grand total of $750, and that'll help buy a little gas for your car as you go along. Good luck to Johnny Hughes. Thank you very much. Now we got this message for you. I'm Gene Rayburn, inviting you to join us next week for Match Game PM. Thank you. Thank you. You were wonderful. Goodbye.
Some contestants will receive the Amana Touch Mighty 2 radar range oven, the next generation of microwave ovens with a fabulous rotowave cooking system. If it doesn't say Amana, it's not a radar range. And Blue Luster shampoo. And other delicious flavors, the plain meat potatoes from Betty Crocker. And scrubber sponges are made tougher than steel pads, just scour without scratching. Use one in the kitchen, one in the back. This is Johnny Olson speaking for Match Game PM, a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production.